Hey guys, what is up? Today I'm bringing you another Wi-Fi battle, and it's gonna be it's gonna be like twice the speed as normal because this battle was like a 40-minute long battle, and you will see why. And I just need a comment straight off. This was battle against Shadow Chew for the Litheo League. It's the Twitter league I've been talking about, and he leads off with Togetic and Garchomp, and I lead off with Shuckle and Aromatisse. It's actually a pretty good matchup for me. In fact, Shuckle was a great matchup for 90% of his team, so I think I started out pretty well. And I go for that immediate Shell Smash while his Togetic gets in Thunder Wave off on me. And now I'm going to preface this battle right now. I underestimated this Togetic. This battle was 36 turns long, which I think is kind of long for a Wi-Fi battle. And for all 36 of those turns, well, almost all 36 of those turns, both Togetic and Shuckle were in there, not dying. Togetic switched out for like one turn, I believe, at the end, you'll see. But, yeah. So basically, it turned into a giant stall game between Shuckle and Togetic. And back and forth and back and forth, and no one's doing enough damage to KO each other. There was one play in this match where, well, when we get to it, I'll talk to it. But basically, this match kind of opened my eyes. Power Split doesn't do what I thought it did. Power Split only affects the base stats, so once you use it on Shuckle and you stay in with Shuckle, it's not going to be as potent as it was the first time. So all the minimizing attack and -6 attack and then power splitting a Garchomp doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, power splitting with a Garchomp is still going to weaken it, but for the most part, its super effective stabs are still going to be KOing guys. So because of this entire stall game, and there's really not much to talk about right now, I'm just basically trying to keep it to a point where one thing goes down, another thing goes down, and I'm keeping my Shuckle alive, because that's the main purpose of my team, is for Shuckle to stay alive. Shuckle actually is a great timer thing. If I can get it down to 1v1, I can pretty much guarantee that I win, even if we go out to the timer, because with the combination of rest and how strong my defenses are, I very rarely get into the red. So it comes down to like, how many Pokemon you have, and then if you each have the same, it's like based on HP, I believe. So I think Shuckle's a good thing, and it's a good thing to keep alive. So this entire battle was just back and forth and a back and forth. Shuckle and Togetic are just staying in, and nothing can one-hit KO them. Now, I was a little worried about the Skarmory because I thought it might Whirlwind. He does play singles, so I was fearing that Whirlwind, but it never came, and that was actually great for me. So in comes Gardevoir, and I know I was talking about something before I went on to the tangent, but I honestly forgot. Okay, this is the area where things got a little dicey. Now, in comes the Gardevoir, and I know my Tyranitar is probably going to go down to a Moonblast, but I want to save it, I don't want to kill it yet. So I bring in my Mawile, and this way I can take down either the Gardevoir or the Togetic. Now, the best play here was to actually take down the Togetic. As you can see why. I mean, it basically is stalling my team. It can't KO me, but with the Thunder Wave, I mean, I like Thunder Wave in Trick Room. It's a nice thing to have, but I really, really should have gone. Now, it's going fast, so it might have been hard to see. I got paralyzed there. I honestly can't remember if I chose the Togetic or the Gardevoir. If I chose the Togetic, this game might have been a different game, but, I'm not going to complain about it. That's what the game's about. There is some hacks in the game. If I chose the Gardevoir, then the game would have consisted the way it did, with albeit smaller turns, probably. And by smaller, I mean not as many. So in comes the Rotom Heat, and this thing doesn't scare me. But I don't want my Mawile going down, because I still need it for the Gardevoir, and I still need it for the Togetic. So I bring in... I keep wanting to call them by their nicknames, but people who are watching may not catch their nicknames. I bring in my Slowking to take the Overheat, and he takes it really well. And then I bring in my Garchomp because I thought he might go for an electric type attack, but he goes for the dang Confuse Ray, and I'm kind of scared. So I have to bring him back because I don't want to be hitting myself. I still need to save him for things too. And I bring my Aromatisse, who can pretty much aromatherapy my entire team. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp, but hey, I brought him my Aromatisse, so I'm not too worried. I keep trying to get those infestations off on that Togetic just to keep bringing it down. But since it's so bulky and since it has Roost, it's going to keep recovering off that damage. And so basically, at this point, I already see that this match is going to go down to a Shuckle v Togekiss. Togetic, sorry. Because I know this thing is bulky. I know nothing's going to really be able to one-shot it, whoopsie, except for the Mawile. The Mawile could actually probably one-shot it, which is probably what I did in the beginning. But hey, hacks happens. So, I'm bringing my Flamingo. I'm kind of surprised I didn't go for the aromatherapy. I didn't see if I got Parahaxed or not. I probably should have gone for the aromatherapy if I didn't. That would have been helpful too, woken up my Shuckle. And Togetic keeps going for the Roosts. Togetic is not to be underestimated. Okay, there, I go for the aromatherapy there. I must have been either... I honestly don't really know, because this is going too fast for me to even sometimes see. But the main point of this is just to show how insanely good Shuckle is. I mean, 36 turns and it never died, and you'll see the ending to this video, and it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting how this battle played out. But after a little while, I'm starting to get a little worn down. This was like a 35 to 40 minute battle, and I ended up battling someone else for the league after this, and you'll see that video on Tuesday, and honestly, I shouldn't have taken that battle. I was not in the mindset to battle again, because this is a very wearing down battle. I personally like Stall when I'm trying to use it, you know? This Togetic versus Shuckle matchup just ended up turning into a huge stall war. Oh my goodness. Stall war. But yeah. So, Rotom Heat is slowly going down, and barring any rest, he's probably going to die soon anyway. I get the Trick Room up so I can make sure things are happening, but slowly but surely his team is falling. I mean, I'm slowly taking out his team. I'm currently in the lead, as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. It's 5-4 right now. The Togetic is not going anywhere. Let's be real here. It's not going anywhere for a while. Once I bring the Mawile back in, and I'm able to hit it with an Iron Head, it's going to go by. But it keeps using Reflect, so maybe it won't. Who knows? Rotom Wash is trying to take out the Aromatisse, and I think this is actually one of the... You know, I'm not really sure, because in reality, nothing on his team can actually take out my Shuckle, because if I'm not by now, I'm going to soon be at +6 in both of my defenses. And in Trick Room, I'm -6 speed as well, so there's nothing going to be outspeeding me barring Priority, but Priority is also weak, and it's not going to entirely one-hit KO me. So, I guess his best option really isn't to go for the Shuckle, and hopefully I, like, you know, get to a Struggle War. So his best option really, actually, you know what, it is to go for the rest of my team, because the rest of my team is going to be able to help my Shuckle survive. And I think at this point, let's see, I'm either at +5 or +6, because I'm definitely not at +3, because after +3 my attack is completely gone. But yeah, finally he kills my Aromatisse, and it's bad for me, but it's not the end of the world, because outside of Garchomp, I'm not really too worried about it using Aromatisse for anything. And because the Infestation is going to take out the Rotom Heat now as well. So I brought in my Mawile because I need a kill. I need to kill this Togetic. But I know that this Garchomp's going to kill me with Earthquake. So I actually go for the Play Rough and miss. Yeah. So here's the thing. I survived the Earthquake. So I still had Trick Rooms up, and now Trick Room is gone. So I can't take out the Togetic now. My plan was to take out the Garchomp because the Earthquake was going to kill me. And if I took him out first, I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, dying. But I missed, and that's fine. That's part of the game. But honestly, you know, looking back, if I accounted for the accuracy of Play Rough, I should have gone for the Iron Head on the Togetic. Because as you see, I may have died Trick Room went out, but, I mean, in reality, it's not the end of the world, because I do still have Tyranitar. He is power split, so he's not too scary, and on top of it, look how much those Earthquakes are doing to my Shuckle. Not a lot. I can easily stall out a Garchomp. And looking back on the battle, I didn't realize this during the battle, but this Garchomp is most likely Choice Specs. Not Specs. Why the hell would it be Choice Specs? Choice Scarf. And the reason I believe this is because the only move it ever does is Earthquake. It never changes, even when against Slowking, Earthquake isn't the best option. He probably could have Dragon Clawed and killed me, to be quite honest. It may not have done a lot of damage, but... Oh, what am I saying? He's not Choice Scarf. Oi! He just did Swords Dance after doing Earthquake. I'm a silly goose. But, I don't know what I was thinking there. I thought that too during the battle, and then he'd Swords Dance, and I still thought it for a little while. I don't know. Whatever. Ignore me. But don't ignore me, because I'm talking. But... So, yeah. So, Trick Room's not up. He predicts the Sucker Punch, which is brilliant on his part, and he goes for another Swords Dance. So he's at +4. I have no idea what his stats are at this point, but my Shuckle is now officially at +6. I'm pretty dang sure. So barring a crit, even like normal Garchomp versus Shuckle, I'm not scared of an Earthquake. So I don't know, but my Tyranitar is definitely not going to survive an Earthquake. No way, no how. But I protect, you know, hey, just in case. You never know. I don't know what that was. It was like a coin fell, but from above me. I don't know. But, yeah. So Tyranitar's going to go down. That one's pretty obvious. But I need to get a rest off on my Shuckle. So I do. And, this poor Togetic is just not going down, and he's been suffering bugs biting him all day and all night long. Tyranitar finally goes down, and now it's looking a little bleak for me. It's just my Shuckle and Garchomp versus the world, and Shuckle's sleeping. So, these next 2 turns, or 3 turns, might seem a little weird. Basically, I protect here to try and stall out the, sleeping on my Shuckle, because I know I can survive any attack Garchomp sends my way. But he gets the Reflect up, unfortunately, and I don't know if that mattered. I don't know if I could have kept my Garchomp in, but basically he goes for the Earthquake, which is why I thought he was Choice Scarfed in the beginning, because he kept going for the Earthquakes when a Dragon Claw probably would have killed me. But he might not have Dragon Claw, I don't know. But basically right here is the cool play. I go for the Rock Slide, which seems weird, but I didn't want to go for the Dragon Claw and risk what's the move? It's the Dazzling Gleam. I wanted to go for the Rock Slide because I thought it would KO at that range. It didn't, but because of that Protect, my Shuckle was able to wake up and infest the Garchomp, so I lived to see another day. Now I go for the Rock Slide again because my 2 stabs aren't gonna. Well, Earthquake isn't gonna affect the Togekiss, and Dragon Claw isn't gonna affect either of them. And I just said Togekiss again. But, so I went for the Rock Slide, hoping it would do enough damage, but it doesn't actually hit the Gardevoir, which is alright. So, looking here, this is where I start thinking, alright, I look at my PP, and I'm pretty solid, and I'm thinking Togetic is actually running out of roosts at this point. So, I can go on for another 30 minutes if I really wanted to. And I have no doubt, because as you'll see in a few turns, this Gardevoir is going to try and go all out on me, and it's not going to do very much. But he brings in his Raichu, and I'm thinking, okay, they're going to do like a double team Focus Blast kind of thing and try and knock me out. But the Raichu actually goes for something interesting and goes for the Encore. Now, this Encore actually would help me out in the future, because look how much damage these things are doing to me. They're not doing very much. Alright, we haven't seen what Raichu's damage output would be, but it looks more like the supporter set. So honestly, I could have kept going, and I probably could have pulled a win out of Shuckle's shell. You know, I really could have. But it was wearing down on me, and I didn't want to have to go through this once more, because honestly, no one wants to go through a 40-minute battle. So he goes for the Hyper Beam, and look how little that does. And since I'm Encored, I do have to do the rest again, but that's why I kind of like worked in my favor. So that was the battle, because right here I run, because I didn't want to have him, you know, waste his life on a Pokemon game. But, yeah, I honestly think that if we had kept going, the Togetic was either on his last roost or close to it, or even out of it at this point. I don't really remember. But, yeah, so I probably could have stalled out the team. His Gardevoir couldn't go anywhere because it was infested. It had another turn to rest. The Raichu looks like it's a support guy, so maybe he could have helped out, but Togetic was going down soon. Gardevoir was going down soon. So it might have come down to a Raichu v Shuckle, and I honestly think I could have pulled out on there. I had maybe a combined total of 40 PP left on all of my attacks, and I was already at +6 special defense and defense. So who knows? I only had maybe about 5 infestations left, but considering it does 1/6 damage per turn and lasts 4 to 5 turns, that's enough to take out the rest of his team. So I left it there because I didn't want to keep going. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to keep going either, and I just wanted to, you know, make sure we all had a good battle, and especially since looking at his team, if we played again, it would most likely end up being the same matchups again, because really most of his team doesn't have much to answer to my Shuckle. So that was the game. I hope you appreciated this. It was one hell of a battle, and I loved it, every minute of it. It really demonstrates how great Shuckle is. He literally lasted 36 turns, and it demonstrates how great Togetic is. He also lasted, let's say, 35 turns, because he did switch out at one point. But, I mean, he didn't have to switch out, you know? He switched out to get that Encore off because he thought the Gardevoir would be doing enough damage. But that was a great battle against Shadow Chew, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you at the next video, and have a great day. See ya.